This is how we do it. All right, today we're gonna make a template for our Japanese bookmaking. So this style of bookmaking, if you haven't done it before, it is really easy to do, and it's super convenient when you don't have a lot of different materials at hand. Um, so first thing is we're using 8.5 by 11 paper. It's the most common size for paper, so that's why I'm using this as a demonstration. Second thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure we have our ruler and we're gonna make sure we have a pencil. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead here and measure. Remember on your ruler, the measurement starts here, right where that line is. That's where the ruler starts. So we're just gonna measure an inch away, like where the paper ends, inch right there. I'm gonna see what that looks like. Okay. Um, measure an inch here. Again, remember that an inch is not necessarily the end of the ruler. You may have a ruler that's exactly an inch big, but I usually mark here and here to make sure that I'm doing it right. Okay, so so I can line up the mark I did on the top and line up the mark I did on the bottom. So I just drew that line there. So the next step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold this in half. Make sure the corners are meeting. This is where I always mess up, but so then we're gonna fold it a half again. 1.5 again. Then we're gonna fold it in half one more time. And this is the last time, is usually the hardest time, to make sure the corners meet up. And okay, good enough for me. Maybe a little bit off. So now if we spread this out, we have our Japanese bookmaking template. The last thing we need to do is we're going to start marking where we're going to put the holes here. Okay, so first I'm going to mark here, 1, then I'm going to skip 1, and I'm going to mark here, 2, and then I'm going to skip a crease there, and then I'm going to do 3, and then the very last one I'm going to do on the end like I did before. Okay, so now that I have that under control, this is the template, and I know that my holes need to be in those spots there. The other tool that you're going to use is either an awl. Usually you use an awl or a hole punch, but in our case, we're going to use a screw, a regular drywall screw. So this is the point of this. This is a Swiss Army situation. We're going to go ahead and make sure you have a cardboard. You can use an Amazon box or something like that. I'm using the back of a sketchbook, and I'm just punching my holes now. And I'm kind of screwing a little bit. Just be careful when you do this. And voila, I got this is my template for making books. Basically, with this, any copy paper will work. When I was in college, I used primarily paper from the paper that was thrown away, that was at Kinko's or something. It was really nice. So in most Japanese bookmaking styles, the binding and the paper, the cover thing, is the exact same dimension as the paper. The only disadvantage of making Japanese books, as you'll see with some of mine that I'll show you in the next time, is that when you get to the very back of the book, it's a little bit harder because you don't have that separation. A lot of your books that you have are either glued or have what's called signatures, and we'll talk about that later. But for right now, this is the simplest bookmaking template you could make by yourself with just your ruler, a screw, and a pencil. All right, please subscribe to my channel.